Broadcasting live from the heart of the San Fernando Valley in Los Angeles, California. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Cosmo Show. Hey, and welcome Melanie Baldanado, high school rugby champ and fine comedienne. And oh yeah, by the way, that's Ralphie over there, singer, songwriter, producer, director. Brace yourself for a mixed bag of topical swag. It is the Cosmo Show. Ladies and gentlemen, this show, as we get to a close of 2014, will tee up what promises to be a great year. And I have decided to bring everyone's favorite drinking buddy, Melanie Baldanado. She seems to go where we go, Ralph.
Hi.
Isn't it nice to be here without a drink in your hand? Not really.
It's okay. What, we have an hour, and then we'll get a drink in our hand?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, that's the way it works.
Yeah. Sounds fun.
Ralph, being the workhorse that he is, has decided to call it a day around 11 a.m., and now he's good to go.
I've been good to go all week.
I know.
You know?
Why have you been on such a tear? Every time I call you, you're between having a...
Dude, I've been on like a 2-week binge. It's been like insane. I've been either at Carmine's, or I've been at Tana's, or I've been at Bordner's, or I've been at HMS Bounty, or I've been at Escondite down in Skid Row. It's just going on.
Where did I have a drink with you where in Hollywood where you could see the W Hotel?
That was at Bordner's. You can see it from outside.
No. Davy Jones?
Oh, Davy Wayne's.
Davy Wayne's. Do you know about this place, Melanie?
Is that the one where you walk through the refrigerator?
Yeah.
Boy,
I must have had a cocktail. I didn't realize I had done that.
I think I'm the only guy in town that really doesn't like that joint.
I'm not a big fan of themed, gimmicky joints. Yeah. What's your take?
I really enjoyed the music.
Well, it's all 70s rock and roll, and it's not 70s disco, which is good, because then I would definitely put a pencil in my eye. But it's 70s rock and roll, which is pretty good.
I like 70s disco stuff, as long as I don't get asked to dance.
You ever listen to 70s on 7?
Sure I do. We got a mutual friend that hosts the show.
Yeah, J.J. Walker. I mean, he's got to be one of the best.
Dynamite?
Yeah, J.J. Walker. He's on series on 70s on 7.
By the way, little trivia, not that you asked, but I think that Jimmy Walker and John Amos, the age difference was 7 years, and yet one played his father.
No.
Something along those lines, which we had access to a computer.
Or, come on.
You know what?
7 years, impossible.
I'd like to know. The Jimmy Walker's birthday. Are you doing it now, Barry? No, you're not? Okay, you know what we'll do? I'll write it down as one thing we can cover at the break.
By the way, if you're a fan of that show, in Norman Lear's autobiography, he goes into depth on that show.
Yep.
Because Norman Chris and Norman Lear. Because John never felt that Norman was portraying real black culture in the proper light.
Tell you what, my brother had a J.J. Walker doll, a Jimmy Walker doll, the Dynamite, and it was a pull string. Okay, it was a plastic head tied to like a plush body, and you pulled the string and it went Dynamite.
The best. By the way, that became his call. Let's see. All right.
I shouldn't call it a doll. Sorry, an action figure.
Is it an action figure?
Well, it's stuffed. So isn't it a doll? Isn't it a Jimmy Walker doll then?
Would Jimmy Walker be considered an action figure?
Well, it's a man, and I don't think that men should be considered dolls when little boys are playing with them. All right, this is just some antiquated Melanie Baldanado coming out, all right, but this is true. If I bought my boy, a child, a Jimmy Walker anything, I would call it an action figure in place of a doll, just in case he wanted to put a skirt on later. I would be like, dude, Jimmy Walker, it's your fault.
Were you a doll girl?
Oh, 100%.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
But you're young, so you probably... Were you too old for the Cabbage Patch rage 20 years ago?
No, but I was actually really young when that happened. I remember hearing about people stampeding over other people to get these dolls, and my older cousins got them.
You mean you're trying to save them to make money from these antiquated, these now defunct, out-of-production dolls?
No,
Did you take care of them?
Oh, I didn't get one. I didn't get a Cabbage Patch doll. My cousins got the Cabbage Patch dolls. But I didn't get them. However, I was like the Toy Story little kid. If you bought me a new doll, I made sure to play with my old dolls just in case they had hurt feelings.
All right. Explain to me for 1 second, Melanie. We're friends on Facebook.
And other places.
And I get these, but I get these flipograms from you, or is that what they're called? I should know these things if I'm gonna have anything to do anywhere. What are you doing up at that hour?
Oh, are you talking about Instagram or Flipagram?
I guess
totally
I
different.
guess Instagram.
I made a Flipagram for us for the last radio show that we did because I thought it was fun to do. And a Flipagram is just pictures where it flips like a flip book and it shows just these little vignettes, sort of scenes. But Instagram, you can make videos on Instagram. And I was drinking with our good friend Dana Jameson, who we've had a show together
and I bumped
with.
it. Yes,
and
okay.
you bumped into her at Dantana's.
The night after you were there.
Yes, because we all run in the same circles when we're lovely. Yeah, we were drinking last night and we decided to do some Instagram videos and tell. So she got a joke book for Christmas, jokes for kids, and so we were reading these jokes for kids to the Instagram.
I want to ask you a question about responsibility. Now, Ralph and I have joked about the fact that when we were younger and growing up, you couldn't get in any trouble with selfies, with your cell phone camera, with inappropriate stuff potentially coming out. And now, you millennials are much more liberal with what you say and do. Do you have any fear, any concern regretting something when you're up for that big gig at IBM and they find stuff? I mean, everything you do is appropriate, but they might think, oh, there she is with a glass of wine. Do we want to hire her?
Luckily for me, I'm a comedian, so I feel like we have more freedom when it comes to how we represent our image because we really are like the last bastion kind of freedom of speech. All we have to do is make it funny. Mm-hmm. Actresses have a different sort of league where many times I have to appear classy, and I mean I am pretty classy for what I do. But that being said, no, I feel
you've
that
rebuffed my advances. That puts you in a clean arena. No, I've never actually made an advance on her that I think of.
Never lent her money.
No, and not only that. Oh, by the way, and thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, to answer the question, John Amos today, not today, but these days, is 75 years old. Jimmy Walker is 67, which puts them 8 years apart, and yet one played the father. Does that surprise you, Ralph?
In the black community, no.
Oh, my gosh! Hey, clap your hands. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if I'm going to have a show anymore. I'm fired, aren't I, Barry, after that? No, we're still good. I'm your host, Cosmo. To my right, the lovely and talented Melanie Baldanado, singer, songwriter, actor, producer, Ralph Odierna for the Cosmo Show. Be back in a bit. Welcome back to the show, where we broadcast from the heart of the San Fernando Valley in the City of Angels. Ralph Odierna, Melanie Baldanado. I am your host, Cosmo. Okay. You made a joke about something you like to do right at New Year's, but for some reason it came up during the summer. You came and did a show where I was before.
Yeah.
Are you going to do it this year?
I might have to because I, again, don't have a boyfriend for New Year's Eve. And you have to have the New Year's Eve kiss, right? You have to have it. However, when people get drunk, like a lot of times, like you kiss them, then they think that you want to go home with them, and that's not. So you have to position yourself correctly. And so what you do is you make eye contact beforehand. You find the sucker. You find him over there. He's got to look clean, though. Nothing growing on his lips. So you find the sucker. You make eye contact, and as the countdown is going down, you keep the eye contact. You position yourself to go towards the guy, if you're a girl, by the way, or if you're a guy and you like guys, I don't care. What you're going to do is you're going to grab him by the ears and pull him close, and you're going to kiss him right at the stroke of midnight. And then you're going to pull back. You're going to look him in the eye and say, "You broke my heart, Fredo."
And when he realizes that there's no tail on that dog.
And then you have a good laugh.
Okay, so you're cool with dashing someone's dreams the first 10 seconds into the new year.
Well, I think that everybody knows The Godfather Part 2 well enough to understand that, like, it's okay.
But they don't know you well enough to know that you're all hat, no cattle in terms of what's going on with that kiss. This is not, let's get in the car.
Exactly.
Darn it.
This is, you broke my heart.
Where are you having your New Year's?
I have a show at the Comedy Hideaway, so I'm going to do that. And then my cousins are getting a DJ, and I have a limo that night, so I'm going to pop in and say hi to my cousins. And be
what part of town? You be Ventura?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So,
at least you're close to home.
Right. I mean, and since I can't do that now, though, just because I can't kiss my cousins. Ugh. So everybody else out there who needs their New Year's Eve kiss.
Yeah, anybody else who wants a big fat tease when the ball, talk about when the ball drops. Ralph, what do you got? Big plans?
No, it's New Year's Eve. I don't go out on New Year's Eve. We've discussed this before. I haven't been out on New Year's Eve, I think, since I'm 12.
Yeah.
It's amateur night.
And it all comes down, all that tension. You know, I tell you, I give credit and I get a big kick out of watching the people that gather around Times Square because they section you off in these pods. You are not, of course, you're not allowed to bring liquor or you're bounced. You're not allowed to leave the pod, so you really got to, bladder management. And whatever the weather is, you stand there for hours. And so when that ball finally drops, it's a big release, no pun intended. And then people go bananas, and I like to watch it. Man, my heart goes out to those people willing to go to those lengths.
You don't go out on New Year's Eve either.
No. I don't. And I have, and it's just a whole lot of planning for what amounts to 3-4 minutes of fun, and then you're worried about how you're going to get home and not get T-boned by a guy seeing how fast his Chevy Nova can go down Ventura Boulevard.
And by the way, I'd like to apologize to the listener for my African-American joke. That's just my sense of humor. Don't worry, I'll be making fun of gays and Italians later.
Yay.
Oh, boy.
Hey, Melanie.
What's going on?
I wanted to ask you about your production. How did that, when you had a comedy show in Burbank, was it Flappers?
It was Flappers, and it went really well. It went really well. We packed the room. It didn't sell out, but we packed the room with like 40 people, and sell out is 50.
Okay.
So we did really well. I do have another one coming up. I have the first one show a month, the January, February, and March at Flappers. So the first one, I believe, is the 26th, but I will double check on that of January. And it went really well. It was fun promoting it on your last radio show.
Well, I like the joint, and I think it's very clever that they put open mic during the week in the bar on the small stage because it gives the illusion of a more full house. I don't know if you've ever been to Flappers, Ralph, but they do open mic stuff, and you can sit right at this long bar, and you can watch the people go up, and it's a pretty fair-minded group. It's okay if you just want to stand around and drink, whereas other places you go, as you know, Melanie, it's not as festive, and they put 25 people, say, at the Improv in a room that holds 100, and it just gives you that underpopulated feeling. It's not pleasant.
No, look, any comedian will tell you the bigger the crowd, the easier it is. Mm-hmm. Try making one person laugh. It's tough.
Yeah.
Which was great. Our mutual friend Kip Adada did that TV show, Make Me Laugh, where they had 5 comedians had, I think it was 30 seconds to try to make one person laugh. That's a skill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever watched those old episodes?
Yeah, I wish they would re-air.
They're all on YouTube. I don't think they're on Hulu, but they're all on YouTube. And it is tough to make one person laugh.
Well, Mitzi will put you, when she's developing you, she's, whatever, it's still run the same way.
Explain to our listener who Mitzi is.
Mitzi Shore is the owner of the Comedy Store, and she is credited with just making fine tweaks to certain people's acts. For instance, Roseanne Barr, she told Roseanne to wear overalls when she went on The Tonight Show. So the domestic goddess was really in the look of the persona as well. She told, I think, Louis Anderson that he needed to wear sweaters. But she's really credited for having a good eye for talent.
Well,
One thing
obviously, it didn't work with her son.
Well,
You think Paulie's funny?
Do I think Paulie's funny? I'm going to finish what I'm saying.
Sorry. No, I know. You have to go back to the Comedy Store at some point.
I do.
Okay.
And he's going to own it at some point. Either way, when you were developing, you would go up at the very last with 3 people left because she believed that that's how you really earned your chops in comedy, is making, like you said, the fewer people laugh. That's how you knew you were funny. That's just your start as a great comedian instead of going up in front of 50 and the hot crowd. What do you learn in front of the hot crowd? How to ride the wave, really.
That's it. Yeah, I've done other stuff, even just speaking engagements, and what it teaches you with a small crowd is how to just mentally hold your ground, remain in character, plow through it, and say, I'm going to have fun here regardless. It's just like dancing when there's no one looking, when you're just vacuuming your own home, saying, I'm going to have fun. And by the way, I hope you all enjoy this too, because I'm going through with this. And for me, in any of those opportunities, whether it's you've got to give a mini presentation in front of 6 people or 500 people, it's the gift of managing adrenaline. and it only seems to come. I don't know if it's nature or nurture. I don't know if some people are just right out of the gate better at that, or if it's practiced. What do you think? You've done.
I think it's all practice. Look, I mean, you're given a certain amount of potential at birth, but if you don't hone your skill, if you don't practice at it, it's just not going to happen. Look at athletes. You were born an athlete. However, not all athletes make it to the big leagues, and those that do make it, practice. You look at Michael Jordan, the amount of hours he put into the gym alone. Boxers, how many hours they spend in a gym alone on a heavy bag or a speed bag. You have to work your craft.
Yep.
God gives you a bunch of potential, but you can also make it go to waste. You know, an athlete's Ryan Leaf coming out of the Pac-10, the number 1 or number 2 draft choice, bombs out after 6 months. Johnny Manziel absolutely is going to be a washout. The night before his injury, he was throwing a big party. 3 guys get suspended for the last game of the season. So, yeah, I believe you have to build a habit.
I'll turn people onto this researcher. Anders Ericsson, I believe, is his name, and he coined the phrase deliberate practice. In that, well, what you play golf,
right?
That there's a difference between playing golf and practicing golf.
Correct.
If you're playing golf, then you're insulting me, and we're drinking, and we're talking about what we're going to do later that evening, and we're just enjoying being out there on the grass, the zen of golf. If you are practicing golf, then you're hitting 10 buckets of balls, right, with different irons, and you're getting feedback, preferably from either video camera or a golf pro. Playing instruments, same thing. You continue to do that chord until you get it right, words at a time.
Some musician once, I can't remember who said it. He says, but time on task over time leads to expert ability.
Okay.
Muhammad Ali. This is the quote that I go to every time I'm sitting in an open mic, and I'm just like, why am I doing this still? Is that I hated every minute of training, but I said, don't quit. Suffer now and live the rest of your life like a champion.
There you go. Schwarzenegger gave look it up. Arnold Schwarzenegger gave a graduation speech, and it's a YouTube clip, and they put this auditorium sound in it and great appropriate music. And he said, one of my heroes, Muhammad Ali, I said, how many sit-ups do you do? He said, I don't count. I only start counting after it hurts.
Yeah.
Type thing. So everybody's good to a point.
Will Ferrell said at the Harvard graduation speech, look, life is tough. Sometimes your limo is going to be late in the morning, and you're not going to get that Starbucks on time.
I love him.
Did you see that?
No.
It's one of the greatest.
He was coming into Dan Tanner's for a long time, though.
It's one of the greatest speeches of all time. He gave the commencement speech at Harvard about 6 years ago, and it is brilliantly funny.
I love it.
What do you think you need to do when you do a routine? You assemble, you write material.
Yes.
All right, let's back it up even before your edits. Do you walk around your house holding a spatula or the remote control and do it, or how do you own it? How do you internalize your content?
Yes. The answer is yes. In fact, a lot of comedians have a microphone setup. I don't have a microphone setup. I have a fake microphone because what's the point of having the cord if I'm not going to have an open mic in my house? But yes, I go over it and I write, I overwrite, I go over what's funny in my head. I dissect why I think it's funny at the core. And then it all depends on if it's a show or an open mic for new material. If I have a show and it's an 8-minute show, there are times when I want some newer material in it to try it out, but not fresh new, not like, oh, I just thought of this on the way here sort of stuff. And I listen to everything after the show and do pluses, minuses, where like the annotation needs to be, that's wasted words, you repeated that. I'm very, very, very organized about my sets. And I mean, maybe there are some comedians that go up and they're like, this is just me and I'm funny and I love you for that. But with the way that my comedy is, there's a lot of misdirects and it's like they're pretty much trickery of the brain. Mm-hmm. But that takes some timing.
You ever lay down a set and you ad lib and it kills it, whether it was a saver or just a random free association, and you say, my God, I just stumbled upon, and you incorporate that for the next show?
Yes. Bar shows for me are the best places for that. Because one, you went to a bar, didn't plan on seeing comedy, and then all of a sudden, surprise, there's this person with a mic. And now I have to win your attention, and I have to make you laugh. And at the same time, you got games going on, like the Lakers are playing, or there's highlights. And then, so if you can hold the room with just your stage presence and make them laugh at a bar show, you know that whatever you're saying there is golden and relatable. And so take that with you.
What do you think about people who do not hold the microphone at all? You talked about, I don't need a cord on this microphone. And there are some who would say, old school Bobby Darin, like, just put the microphone on the stand and use your hand gestures and pivot left and right to greet everybody. Have you tried that? Keeping your hands free.
I've always held the mic, and at some point I would love to, only if I'm doing an act out where I need both of my hands. However, one of my favorite comedians is Richard Jenny. And he has an hour special where he just has the headset and he's able to be free on stage.
Was it Platypus Guy or whatever it was? I've seen him before he passed. Yes.
Yeah. I would love to have that, though. Down the road, just a headset. So that way you can just go and be you. And Robin Williams, same thing. You saw his specials and just headset.
Well, even what I'm referring to is not just the freedom to run around in circles. Mm-hmm. I mean, what do they call it? Toe the mark, and remain where you are, front and center.
I think that if a person can do that and hold the room, that's a strong power move. Like, how funny are you just to be in one place and still hold the room in that way? And some people do it, and I got to tell you, I fall asleep.
They can, yeah. I do know the fidgetiness of the tendency for people to want to walk around and move the bar stool and then navigate themselves around the court and walk in circles. And then kind of like George Burns, of course, he had a moment to puff on his cigar to take a beat. Other people will go over to their beer and take a big pull on their beer. And I learned that's a lot of unnecessary activity.
It's generational. All the old-timers stood in one place.
Good point.
All the old-timers did.
I want to challenge you to go to old school. I'll come see you sometime. Ladies and gentlemen, Ralph Odierna, Melanie Baldanado. We'll be back in a bit.
Well, I'm on my way to the city lights, to the pretty face.
Welcome back to the show. I am your host, Johnny Cosmo. Hey, the name of the show is The Cosmo Show. I do it periodically here from the heart of the San Fernando Valley. It is a mixed bag of topical swag with a few points to ponder. We like to chat about what you talk about day in and day out, including some things that even frost your shorts and mine. It's the holidays, and I'll tell you what. If ever people can get on your nerves, it's the holiday drivers, it's the holiday drinkers, it's the holiday shoppers, it's the rage over a 18-inch flat screen at Best Buy. People are willing to kill each other for it. And I just think that at times the holidays, in an odd way, bring out the worst in people.
Can't stand holidays.
Really?
Nah.
National Handwriting Day. You okay with that?
Yeah.
Boxing Day in Canada?
You know what that means?
What?
It's not about boxers.
I know.
It's about wrapping presents in boxes.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Did you know that, Melanie?
I do now.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Yeah. Well, they changed. It was a Christmas. They didn't honor the 25th of December.
Yeah. You know what one of the toughest trivia questions is?
No.
Name a great Canadian restaurant in Los Angeles.
You know, that is something that really frosts my shorts. The people to the north. Hey, by the way, I was also in Detroit recently. Overlooking the Detroit River, and you can look right into Windsor, Canada, and it is one of the few places in the United States where you can face south and look into Canada. Melanie Baldanado, lovely, lovely woman, and now she's a friend of mine. Is there something that really frosts your shorts?
Yes. Those people who are thumping enlightenment as hard as the people who knock on my door to thump the Bible, and then they're not even close to enlightened. They just watch Oprah.
Fair point. The Enlightenment. You didn't know that was coming, did you? We covered literature on the previous show. The Enlightenment. We know there's somebody
the
there.
Renaissance.
No, was it Isaac Newton? Was he part of the Enlightenment?
He was.
All right.
Yeah.
And?
We came out of the Dark Ages, and it was the age of reason. It was the age of enlightenment.
Yeah.
We came out of the Dark Ages.
Got it.
Yeah.
Anything, Ralph? Now, that's one of her pet peeves. Give us something really frost your shorts.
Rose Bowl parade.
What about it?
Can't stand it. You know what happens is it's in January. People are out there on the parade route in shorts and T-shirts, and people in Wisconsin and Minnesota are watching this and like, honey, we're moving to California. And we get all of these people, these cheeseheads, moving to California. When I moved out here in 88, I could park on Sunset Boulevard. Now, You can't do it. I want those people to stay home. It's not that nice here.
It eats the entire city. You know what frosts my shorts? People who try doing things that they really shouldn't do. I don't know if it's a midlife crisis. I don't know if it's, hey, I'm turning 50. Maybe I should do something else for fun.
Like radio?
Or how about people that get lost hiking? My tax dollars go to you so you idiots can get drunk in the foothills and then take a midnight walk through the Angeles National Forest. Hey, Daniel Boone, why not attach fishing line and attach it to your belt loop? Or is that too humiliating for a guy your age? Is it better than sleeping under a rock while a helicopter searches for you all day with your mom on the phone with the pilot? How about you just do a few laps around Griffith Park with all the other children? Were you really going to discover something new 2 miles off the 210 freeway? Oh, look, I found an old Mickey's Big Mouth bottle. You on adventure? Why not spend an hour on PlayStation in your trailer park in La Cañada? That way, I don't have to watch a helicopter filming another helicopter looking for you a-holes who decided to dress the same color as sagebrush and walk 4 miles through a dried-out creek. Hey, a squirrel! Don't you love wildlife roughing it out here within earshot of a freeway? Find your way back to the 99-cent store where this whole adventure started. Stay home and watch Survivor and save us the charade. I'm Johnny Cosmo with a few things that frost my shorts. Are you picky or are you conservative?
Both.
Okay, this is why, as long as I've known you, you haven't had a boyfriend.
Right.
Okay. And I would imagine that's a pretty high bar for people to hurdle, right? Do you have all these standards, all these criteria they must meet?
Look, this is my problem. My problem is that I have a brother who actually loves his wife. I have a brother who loves his wife.
That is a problem.
And that's a problem because when you see how people who love each other can treat each other in real life, you understand that it's real, and so that's what you wait for. Because why would I be with you because you're a schmuck right now, but you're here, when Mr. Nice walks by and kind, and then I can be nice. But then I've learned, too, that you got to be mean to guys. I feel really bad. But, like, you guys like to be abused a little bit, and then you love more. It's really a very disheartening thing.
We're going to go back to the Shakespeare quote, aren't we?
The one who loves least.
Least controls the relationship.
Yeah. Well, look, when a woman pushes back a little bit, I think it gives us, it's just like hitting the ball back over the net. Sometimes the man would respect her for that.
What is it, Goodfellas with Ray Liotta, where Karen, I think it's Goodfellas,
that's
right?
Goodfellas.
Where Karen gets stood up and she comes and she confronts him and she yells at him. He's like, she had fire in her eyes, and that's when he fell in love. Like, that should be, every woman should see that because that's exactly what it is. Guys, as much as you complain about it, you do like a little crazy, just a little fire, just enough to scare you, and it actually scares your penis into erection. I mean, it's real, but...
Yeah, I'm
I got news. That's not what caused it, Melanie.
I'm more of a Bronx Tale guy.
In what's...
what, she's got to unlock the door? Guess
There you go.
what are you going to do now? It's all automatic. I was taught that too, and guess what? First date, ching, it's done. Like, I can't unlock the dude's door. I reached over, I opened the door to try to prove that my dad raised me right, but that's like, now it's like overdoing it.
No, it's never overdoing it.
Well, I don't think that those two behaviors are mutually exclusive. I think you can unlock the door, but I think you can also, a la Lorraine Bracco's character, give some pushback. Remember, he says, I'll call you next week. She says, well, think about it or something. She was sassy. She's good. I met her at the Palm, and she's lovely. To this day, she looks just the same to me. She gained a few
I was
pounds.
going to say, she's got a little bit bigger.
Yeah, it looks like she may have...
Looks like she definitely stopped doing the cocaine in that movie and started eating a little bit.
Ironically, I caught her eating a Godfather at All About the Bread.
Did you really?
No.
Oh, that would have been funny.
It would have been a funny joke. If
That
you saw
would've-
the woman from Goodfellas eating a Godfather.
That would have been funny.
Well, it wasn't funny when I said it.
I guess not. Hey, do you know who owns Fat Sal's? I just found out.
Yeah, the guy from
Turtle.
Entourage, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, another
I
guy who,
didn't
by the way,
know
like,
that.
yeah, he also, I saw him at Dantana's, he must have lost 50 pounds.
Yeah, so
Easily.
he's not eating at Fat Sal's, let me
No.
tell you, because I ate
He's got
something there.
He's got a movie coming out. Entourage the movie.
Yeah, that
next year.
Yeah.
So true.
Kevin's a mutual friend, but I saw the trailer for that movie.
And
I probably will wait for it to come out on Netflix.
really, huh?
Yeah.
I will probably see the movie. I will.
I'm just going to give Kevin $12 at the bar at Dantana's and tell him I saw it.
All right. If you could go out on a date with a guy from Entourage, who would it be?
Oh,
I'm
easy.
talking
Turtle.
to Melanie. You'd go, really?
100%.
As he was?
Yeah.
Heavy guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like with that
Yeah.
look in your eye. You like heavy guys?
I do. I want you at least like 15 pounds above a six pack. Like, not so heavy that you got like that sort of like sad face coming with your stomach, but like, yeah, you know, or that's a happy face actually. But you know what I'm saying? Like your face is sad on your face, but then you got like that. The point is, Yes, I like a guy who's like okay enough to eat, because guys can get just as psychotic as girls when it comes to looking like they're models. And it's like, dude, you work in an office. Calm down. You don't need to lecture me about using olive oil versus grapeseed oil.
Oh, you're talking to Cosmo right now. You realize that?
I'm okay with your grapeseed oil.
See?
Is that?
Look, I understand that you're supposed to cook with grapeseed oil.
Oh,
I know
I thought
that.
you meant
I
like for a
know that.
massage.
Right. Oh, well, you can use vitamin E as well.
The conservative, borderline prudish Melanie Baldanado.
Hey,
Not in a bad
Turtle.
way.
Turtle
She
fan.
goes for Turtle. I would have thought you'd go for
Hey,
Dylan.
Turtle
Or
looks hungry.
Who's the Dylan character play?
Oh yeah, he's Vince Turtle. Oh, because he's like the what?
You talking about Matt Dillon's brother, whatever his name is?
Kevin Dillon.
Kevin Dillon?
It's his name
Drama.
though is Drama, Johnny Drama.
From the heart of the San Fernando Valley right here in Los Angeles, California, somewhere where the 405 bifurcates to 101. We'll be back in a bit. The Cosmo Show. Welcome back, and I do love stereophonics. I am your host, Cosmo. The name of the show is The Cosmo Show. Ralph Odierna in tow. The lovely and talented Melanie Baldanado. My friend and drinking buddy and comedian. We're going out after the show. Come on, baby. Join us.
I've been down and I'm wondering why these little black clouds keep walking around with me.
Hey, I got a few Facebook posts that could have been. I don't know if these are any good or not, but I always imagine, hey, if Facebook were around years ago, what might people have posted? This one in from John F. Kennedy, expecting nice weather in Dallas next week.
Oh.
FDR.
Too soon.
FDR posts, so stressed at work, hashtag World War II. Shakespeare just wrote a love story about a guy and a girl from different families. Attila the Hun, passing on high school, joined the army instead. And a post from Thomas Edison. Doctor said reading in the dark causes eye strain. You know what? It's easy to lay back and just sit there with your bow and arrow making fun of the guy who hangs his soul out there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right. Hey, logistically, where are we going and how are we getting there?
Well, it's mid-afternoon. A couple of places that are open. Or you can stop at Carmine's for a cocktail. You can stop at Tortilla Republic for a cocktail. You can stop at Borders.
Well, she only has time for one.
Well,
drink.
the close
Two. We'll get you to
Or
two.
the closest to here that's open
Yes.
is the Pineapple Hill Saloon, and you're 1 for 1 in there.
Could be a good time.
Yeah, and that's right down the street.
Yeah. Well, the thing is,
You also have Murph's down the street.
I might want to do something. Yeah, maybe we'll hit a bar where I haven't been yet. But I like you. I can't wait to dump the car.
Murph's is next to Triple and Brine.
Tipple. Oh, that
Tipple and
place.
Brine.
Tipple and Brine. Hey, let's talk about Tipple and Brine. It's on the north side of Ventura Boulevard at what? Van Nuys Boulevard?
Yeah, it's owned by an old friend of mine. I mean, we go back to New York. We're talking about like 1983, 1984. Ricky DeSisto. Ricky owns that place. He owns Murph's. He owned Lola's in Burbank. He's a restaurateur, and he's got good joints. I mean, they got good food, good atmosphere. Ricky's an old friend, and he's a good restaurateur.
Excellent seafood. They do little creative things. It's not like, would you like fried calamari? They have a fried octopus. It's like a whole octopus, and they put it in a spicy sauce with an interesting garnish and a couple of interesting dips. Oysters on the half shell.
Excellent. I've had them there. Excellent.
Okay. Aren't they good?
Yeah. And by the way, you know what's a 9-iron from here?
No.
The Valley Inn.
Oh, the Valley Inn.
The Valley Inn.
Well, here's the deal. We're on this side of the hill. You got to head towards the.
I live in Beverly Hills. Yeah.
Oh, you're still there. That's right.
Yeah.
You taking your car back over the hill?
Yeah.
Okay. Just not for nothing, but if you go to Tipple and Brine, Tuesday nights are half price bottles of wine. So you get a $40, $45 bottle of wine at half price. You're good.
It's like $22.50.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
No, I'm just saying you and I ought to get over the hill before the rest of the world splits forever. Right. And then I just need to dump my car. I have to make a phone call, take care of some business.
Itinerary.
I got a thing at 7.
We got
but
things.
I can get you there. I can get you to your thing at 7.
Right.
That's easy.
And this is how plans are made in Los Angeles.
You're not taking your car, are you? We're big fans of Uber.
That's right.
We hit that Uber button left and right, and the worst part of it is it's like chips in Las Vegas. You forget that's money.
But by the way, and you said something. I learned that when I first moved out to Los Angeles in 1988. You do not make plans for a Friday on a Monday. And that is why all women in this town say, let's confirm Wednesday or Thursday morning, because they're waiting for Monday afternoon, Tuesday afternoon, Wednesday afternoon to see if they get a better offer.
Oh, yeah. BBD, bigger and better deal.
It goes for girls, too. Okay, my girlfriends at the very last minute, I don't invite them. I just don't. Because I just feel like if you invite me first to your Super Bowl party, I'm going to your that's my rule. I'm going to your Super Bowl party. You invited me first, that's how it goes. My girlfriends, Friday night, Saturday night, are like, okay, these are our options. We can either go to the Nip Tuck Rap party, we can go to Queen Latifah's party, we can go over to, and then they name some sort of bar where like we're on the VIP list. It's like, how did you get all these options? And how they got it is because they didn't give anyone a direct answer until the very last minute.
It's the hedge. Yeah. Let me know. Let me think about it. When is it?
By the way, is that in the Player's Guide to Playing?
Sounds good. No. I don't think it. Well, there is a couple of chapters. And by the way, if I can trust Melanie Baldanado with this.
What are you giving her?
I'm giving her a copy. She is not allowed to use it for any...
a copy of what? Since the listener is not watching.
I gave her a copy of The Player's Guide to Playing the Art of the Chase.
And who wrote it?
Yes.
I wrote it.
Where can our listener get that?
Well, if the listener wants it, let's see. They can follow me at Your Host Cosmo on Twitter and ask, and we'll arrange it. Otherwise, it's on smashwords.com.
Now, is it expensive?
Not for what you're getting, Ralph, no.
Okay. Is it funny?
It's a laugh a minute. 2 laughs if you read it quickly.
I am so excited.
70-some-odd chapters of pure wisdom.
77. I've read it twice.
Now, here's the deal. If you catch me using any of those tactics, you got to call me out on it, because maybe I'm being sincere.
May I make a suggestion?
Sure.
I think you need to update it. There is some stuff in there that's a little dated.
Probably. I wrote it 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Anything come to mind that's anachronistic?
Tinder.
The cell phone technology. I'm not getting service in here. Can I use your phone for a second?
That's the only chapter I'm not proud of, looking back.
Yeah.
And I did it playfully where I said, can I use your phone? And then I called my phone and I had your number. And wink, wink, I was able to text or follow up later. That is the only chapter where I get the biggest eye roll, especially from women.
By the way, how you know if you're leading a boring life?
No.
If your date picks up your cell phone and is going through your pictures and there's no sweat on your brow.
Yeah.
That is true.
If you don't care, if somebody looks at your phone, your life is uneventful. Jim Morrison said, have you led a good life enough to base a movie on? That's the way I like to do it.
I have an entire trilogy.
Do you?
Yeah.
You probably do. You got 0 to 16.
That's right.
All right, then you got the
16 to 32.
Your salad days.
I'm 51 now.
Yeah. What do you think is going to happen 51 plus? Jeez. What are you going to do for an encore to outdo?
Like I told you, I met that young girl. She's younger and she's an actress, and she says, "Are you going to get jealous about my future?" I said, "I promise I won't get jealous of your future if you stop being jealous about my past."
Well, I've lived long enough for an epilogue. Thank you very much.
Now, not that you need long enough
for an epilogue.
Thank you.
Is that what you shave your legs with?
That means you're.
Oh, that's an epilady. I don't think you need any of the tactics. What I may be doing inadvertently is making you aware of some of the inbound tactics that men will use. But because, once again, you're a lovely young lady, probably a little tentative in the bedroom, and choosy, I'll give you that as a fair heads up to some of the characters you must come across.
Look,
at nightclubs.
This is the way it goes. If you spread your army too thin, then you have a weak army. But if you concentrate your army in one place, then it's a strong one. Am I right? That is why you should be selective.
Sun Tzu, The Art of War. Sun Tzu said, you never go to battle to learn more about the enemy. You learn all you can, and you go to battle with that plan. That's what that does. It's not about fornication. It's about communication, Melanie.
I don't believe in fornication. I don't believe that it's an accurate word.
You don't believe it's an accurate word?
Because I feel like it has a negative connotation. In all reality, you could make love, and then are you really fornicating? No, you're just freaking getting it on.
That's fornication.
Getting it on, okay.
Yeah.
Well, we have other names.
Yeah, like getting it on.
Getting it on would be good.
Exactly, it is good.
What's your name for fellatio?
My name for, freaking fellatio? What do I call it?
Yeah.
Thank you.
This is someone I will never figure out. Melanie Baldanado. We might be headed to the Valley Inn for some cocktails. Ralph Odierna, thank you for being here, buddy. We appreciate you. By the way, your 2 films, once again, just a call back from a previous
We
show.
have 10 minutes, and it's my decision. And my play opens on January 13th at the White Fire Theater on Ventura Boulevard. It is called Soulmates.
Until next time, on behalf of myself and Melanie Baldanado, I am your host, Cosmo, for The Cosmo Show. Be responsible. Take Uber. Have a nice weekend.